Welcome back to the 128KB podcast. We are back once again.
Due to lack of popular demand.
And that demand is so lacking that I will not allow Andy in the same room as me anymore.
Yeah. That demand was so lacking I couldn't be bothered to make the drive.
I was like, no, I don't want him here. Yeah, people are calling us fake all the time, so get rid of it.
Yeah. I had a text from AJ and he went, how about you just don't come today? And I was like, all right, screw you then. That was it.
That's actually how it read.
Yeah, it was,
like,
yeah.
Andy, can you not come today? I just don't want to see you. No. What a mad week in gaming it's been. If you're new, this is your weekly dose of all things gaming. We just kind of sit back, chat and chill and talk about this week in gaming, and mainly around handheld gaming, but it's kind of just been seismic all round, hasn't it?
It's been pretty mad, actually. Like well, obviously we'll get to the main topics later, but when that news dropped, I was wrapping up for the day, and I was going downstairs and stuff, started making some dinner and that, and I looked at like my phone and was like, what? I was like, hang on a second. And then I searched for the video from Valve and I sent it to AJ. I was like, AJ, look what's happened. I was like, oh my God. And then, just madness fell out. So I'm super excited to talk about all this stuff today.
I felt like Fireman Sam in that moment. I had to run through and slide down a pole into the studio.
Yeah. Well, I thought you were like busy like elsewhere. I was like thinking AJ's not going to see this, so he's not going to do a news. So I was like, I'll have to do a news, but I was like, I'm going to have to do it in the morning because I had too much life stuff to do in the evening. So I was like, oh no, and then AJ was like, I'm on it now. I was like, okay, sweet.
I was filming like B-roll for other stuff. I was like filming like product shots, like doing my day job, just late. And then I wrapped it up and I was like, brilliant, that's all my work done for today. I'll just go and chill out now. Open my phone. The world's on fire.
Yep.
Today's totally awesome video sponsor is MOBAPAD. Longtime viewers will know that MOBAPAD is our absolute favourite brand for Switch controllers or Joy-Con alternatives. Their Joy-Con alternatives are a genuine game changer. No more drifting, no more hand cramps, and now that the Switch 2 is here, they are still the ones that are sorting us out with some cool stuff. They've got this really great C70 Pro adapter. This little thing lets you use your original M6 HD Joy-Cons on your new Switch 2. And they've got the new P1 carry case for the Switch 2 as well, which both looks cool and is super practical. They're running a massive Black Friday sale, which is why they wanted me to shout all about them. Their entire store will be 20% off. Their main deal that I think is insane is the M6 HD Joy-Con bundle with that C70 Pro adapter for just $86.99. Or if you prefer shopping on Amazon, you can grab their N1 HD Joy-Cons for just $30. Plus, they've got more discounts, $5 off a $100 spend, $10 off a $120 spend, and $15 off a $160. It just all stacks up with more discounts happening on Amazon as well. The link is in the description, will take you to the sale, and you'll directly be supporting what we do here at 128KB by clicking on it. So massive thanks to MOBAPAD for sponsoring this video. How's your week in gaming been? What have you been playing this week?
My week in gaming has been pretty good. I've been giving a bit more attention to the Legion Go 2 over the past couple of days, just because we've been doing so many like benchmarks and looking at all these other handhelds. Obviously, we got the Claw 8 AI Plus. Little plug, we will be doing a benchmark comparison against all of the Z2 Extreme handhelds this week, a bit later on in the week. So if you haven't seen our Z2E benchmark comparison video, check that out first. But because I've been like focusing on just running benchmarks and looking at this handheld, looking at that handheld, I was like, man, my Legion Go 2 is just there like, play with me. And I'm like, So I was like, okay, I installed a bunch of demos from like the Steam Fest and stuff on there, and they've just been sat there. I'm like, I really need to just try these demos. So one of the games I've been playing was I think it's called Reanimal. And that's actually made by the Little Nightmares guys.
Yes.
So that's been really cool. And obviously on that beautiful OLED screen on the Legion Go 2, because it's a real dark, dingy kind of horror kind of game, I was like, yeah, this is wicked. So playing that, I only played a bit of the demo because I was trying to get through these demos. There was another demo, I think it was called Constance or something similar to that, which is like a Metroidvania, and you're like this little. You're like a little paint girl, and it kind of reminded me of Splatoon from Nintendo, because in Splatoon you're a little squid, right? And you dive into paint, and then you like swim in the paint and jump out, and that's kind of what this game's like. Like she jumps and I want to say shine sparks, but I don't know the word of it. Like kind of boosts across. In like a paint blob, and she can actually get underneath like barricades and stuff by going into paint. So it really reminded me of Splatoon. But pretty cool little demo. So I quite enjoyed that. I also downloaded the demo for Chronos: A New Dawn, because I didn't actually buy that purely because it looks insanely difficult. And I was like, I'm just going to end up rage quitting on this. So even though it's totally my type of game, so I've downloaded the demo, but I haven't played that because I've still been playing Resident Evil Village, and I'm so close to finishing it now. I'm on like the last boss, I think, and then I would be doing the expansion stuff. So I'm hoping to do this weekend.
I was fully expecting you to say just Village, because I know that for you, Resident Evil is like a no-life situation.
It is a no-life situation. Yeah, well, I've actually been having my wife and I's friend over, and he's watched the entire playthrough of Village.
Nice.
So, like, he's been coming over and stuff, and we've been playing that. But this week... But yeah, go on.
I was going to say, can I just say, like, some of my favourite gaming memories is experiencing games secondhand.
Yes. Yeah.
Like... like since the youngest days, have always loved watching people play games, and I'm not talking about streamers, although that's kind of like a modern way of doing it.
Yeah, you're on about being there in the room and doing it together.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but all like take it in turns. I know loads of my early game experiences with that. Loads of the big games I played were like me and my best mates, and then in like early adult years, the same. Watching people play games or take it in turns and stuff.
Yeah, same with me. You know, going around a friend's house because they've got the latest game or whatever.
Yeah,
and that was my own experience.
So then it becomes that thing when you know life. It's like, no, we're going to go and play, or I'm going to go and watch him play this tonight.
Exactly, yeah. And that kind of is how Village started, because we had our friend round and he was watching the start of it and stuff because he'd played the first like hour. So he was like, yeah, just start playing it. And then we got past the point he was playing. He stayed the whole weekend and we smashed like a load of it. And then he came around a couple of evenings during the week and we smashed more. And now it's like, well, he's seen like almost the entirety of the game. So it'd be rude to complete it without him. So he's actually coming over later tonight so that we can do like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like smash the rest of Village and the like expansions.
One of the things, like guilty confessions in gaming was I was playing Red Dead when Red Dead 2 came out. I was like no-lifing that, and producer Pete, me and him used to house share at the time, so he was experiencing the game secondhand through me, and so I'd always wait for him to be there, and then I'd play it. I'd chuck on the controller occasionally, but he was like, "No, you play it. I'll just go through the story." Mm-hmm. And it was one weekend I was like just smashing stuff, and I realised I was right next to the final mission.
Yeah, I was like, you have to wait. Yeah.
No, I did it. I did it without him.
That's amazing.
Like, sod it. I'm just going to play it.
Yeah, that's.
I felt so guilty afterwards.
Yeah, that's what happened with me with GTA 5, funny enough. When I was at university, GTA 5 launched, and I was like in a house with a bunch of my mates, and we all played it on my PS3 or whatever it was at the time.
Yeah, it was PS3,
But the thing was, is if I was in like a lecture or like in the library one evening, they would be at home loading up my save and just continuing it. And I was like, damn you. Like, so, if it was anything important, they would wait. But there was a couple of nights where I came back and I was livid that they'd done like a mission without me, But, yeah.
I've missed so much. Yeah. For me, thanks for asking, Andy. It's very kind of you. I've got a new obsession.
Oh, no. What is it?
And we actually talked about it last week.
Did we?
after our conversation, I was like, I'm just going to take the plunge and do this. Arc Raiders.
Arc. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? I've watched, and you know what? Like YouTube and stuff's like, the more you watch something, the more it shows it to you.
Yeah.
So I was just getting these videos all the time, and I was like, it does look really good. Sod it.
It does.
I'll
look
see how
cool,
much it is, and if it's not like 70 quid, then I'll get it. It's £30.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and if you get it from Argentina for PC, it's
from your
actually
uncle,
a lot less. Yeah, it's even less. It's more like 20 quid. So yeah.
But even at like full price, being 30 quid just seems insane to miss it. So I was like, I'm just going to get it. It is an absolute triumph. That game is.
It does look really good.
So well done. The biggest drawback that we were talking about, the timed.
Yes, the 30-minute matches. Yeah.
It is so important to the emotion of how you play that I can't imagine not being there.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
The peril is so high.
Yeah.
And if you fail in a real kind of in a real almost like roguelike punishing way, you lose everything, even the stuff you went in with. Kills you.
That's my biggest thing. Is like, I think I would rage quit. I'd just be like, nah, I'm done with that.
It just adds a whole new emotion to. If you've been playing a lot of like first person shooters or whatever, you're used to being way more like gung ho, going in John Rambo style. This really quickly punishes you and then teaches you that you need to be different and you need to be calculated, and even down to like, do you go and rescue your teammate that you've gone in with, or do you just leave them?
Yeah,
it's punishing.
Savage.
So, and because it's like post-apocalyptic and it's supposed to be like the world out there is like really brutal.
Yes, yeah.
The balance of the gameplay loop, the difficulty curves, and the punishments for failure are high enough that it actually conveys that really well.
Okay.
On top of the fact that the game is beautiful to look at.
Yeah, I really like, my friend that I was just referring to with Resident Evil Village, it's called Paul, and he brought Arc Raiders to my attention because he's been like hyped for it and he loves it. And he said to me, he was like, it reminds me of Star Wars, but not. Like the aesthetic and like the scene and stuff. And I was kind of thinking like, what's he mean? And then when I saw like gameplay and stuff, I was like, okay, yeah, I kind of get that. Like it does look that kind of vibe. And I love the art, like the aesthetic of it and stuff looks wicked. It's just that gameplay model. Like unless I played it, like I don't know if I'd want to spend that money and just play it once and never play it again.
I'd say two things for anyone that's like considering it as well, that's still on the fence. You have to be in a situation where you can play with a friend or someone you play online with.
Yeah, like a team game, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I did when I first got it, I played a few rounds on my own and I was a bit like, I don't know, this is just kind of, the stakes are too high to be solo.
Yes, yeah.
Like, so it's almost just terrifying the whole time. You're just like running and hiding.
Nice.
The stakes are too high. When you play with a friend, or you can do parties of 3, but at least one other person going as a duo, and then it's fun. You can share the fear and the kind of excitement together. You know, like run and you're like,
yeah.
It's then it becomes fun. But yeah, so if you're on the fence about it, make sure you've got someone you can play online with, or you're good at making internet friends in open lobbies.
Yeah.
The peril of meeting the PvP part of it is really weird. 90% of people you meet are as scared as you.
So they won't attack.
Yeah, so there's like proximity chat that you can talk, you can push to talk and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so they'll be like, no, I'm friendly. And you're like, okay, yeah, we're all scared together. It's fine. I've just got all this stuff that I need to take back with me.
Yeah. Don't kill me. I want my loot. Yeah.
But that also makes it worse when you come across the 10% that aren't friendly.
Yeah.
And they will just butcher you. Like,
Yeah. I spent a lot of time many years ago playing like PvEVP MMOs, So I know all well and good how that goes.
Yeah.
So well, what I used to do, I don't know if you can do it in that game where you can can you go into a match with like noob gear on, or do you have to wear decent stuff? Right?
No, you can go. They call it a free loadout, and they'll just give you a bunch of random stuff.
Oh, okay, cool. Because in those like MMOs, I used to be like really high level, but go in with like really low level gear on, but then like a high level weapon in my bag. So like you would come across some people and they'll be like, haha, I'm gonna gank you or something, and then you just whip out like some crazy weapon and just annihilate them.
Watch me nuke the map.
Yeah. So it is fun. I really do like the look of it, and I want to dive into it. I'm just still on the fence about that game. I don't know what it is. But yeah,
I spent the first couple of nights playing it, just going in after losing a bunch of stuff a couple of times. I was like, right, okay, I'm not good enough at this yet.
Yeah.
Then I spent like a few nights just going in with a free loadout, because then there's no peril to losing, because it's just free stuff. It's all crap gear, but like it's easy then.
Yeah, see, I think that's how I'd roll. Yeah, initially. Yeah.
Then you learn all like the nuances of the game by doing that, without any peril, which is kind of nice. But yeah, I've been, as you can probably tell, it's my new obsession.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad that you're enjoying that.
I've had no life in that one.
Every time we talk about it, and every time someone talks to me about it, I'm like edging closer of wanting to play it, But equally, I mean, Battlefield 7 is... not Battlefield 7, what am I on about? Call of Duty Battlefield Black Ops 7 4. I put my computer on the other day and I was like, I'll just do some driver updates. I knew there was a new AMD driver and stuff for my 9070 XT. So I was like, I'll just install that. And then I opened up the Xbox app. I was like, why does Call of Duty have 165 gigabyte update? Right?
Ridiculous.
It was preloading the new game, even though I didn't ask it to. So it downloaded the new game, and I was like, what the hell? And I thought it was just like an update for the previous one, for 6, Black Ops 6 or whatever I had installed. But no, it just downloaded the whole new game for me. I've not played it yet because, I've just haven't had time.
I've not either. Call of Duty is one of those ones that I go in like fits and starts with. Like I'll get obsessed with it for a month and then I'll never play it again for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
But it is weird now that I don't recall them doing this with Black Ops 6 from the Warzone. From Modern Warfare that was before it.
No,
but they just pre-installed it on everyone's computer.
Maybe because it's Black Ops to Black Ops or something, or no, because I had Modern Warfare. What's the latest one before this one? It was Modern Warfare, wasn't it?
Modern Warfare 3.
Yeah, so my logic there doesn't even like check out, because I thought we were still on Black Ops 6, but we're not. So I've no idea why they've just forced you to preload.
Right. It was Modern Warfare 3. Last year was Black Ops 6.
Yeah, but I mean like the current one before 7, I've had Modern Warfare 3 installed. Yeah. So I thought if it was Black Ops, maybe they've just rolled you onto the new one, but that's not the case because I had 3 installed. But yeah, I don't know why they're doing that. I mean, in a way it's good because you don't have to wait then. You just jump straight into the game. But equally, has that... Now I've got Modern Warfare 3 installed and Black Ops 7 without it asking me. So now I've got like, what's that? About 10 terabytes worth of Call of Duty that I don't need.
And you've got Black Ops 6 in between as well, so you've probably got that on there too.
No, I only ever have one Call of Duty installed because they're like 500 gig a game.
Yeah, and the updates are like 500 gig each time as well.
Yeah, it's funny actually you say that because I've not played Call of Duty in a while, but last night my wife was playing on her Xbox and was playing Modern Warfare 3 because, and maybe we can segue this nicely into the first topic, but we've got, and you have as well, an issue with the Xbox Elite. What is the stupid name of their controller? The Xbox Elite Series 2 Core or something like that.
Yeah, that's it. I was trying to look. It's around here somewhere.
I've got the box behind me. Yeah, I've got the box behind me. Yeah. So we bought these controllers. They're like over £100 here in the UK. I mean, in dollars, it must be something silly.
I think the asking price is 120.
20.
I think.
Yeah.
I think I might have bought mine in an offer at like 95, like a Black Friday style thing.
I think you did because I got mine before you, and I think I paid around 100, which I thought was decent because they were more.
Yeah.
But yeah, like a year and a half, 2 years later, the thing drifts like terribly.
Oh, yeah, so I've played, because you've talked about Call of Duty, I played a lot of Call of Duty in the past 6 months. I've, at least once a week I played that game.
Yeah.
And I think any first-person shooter does this to these controllers, and it's just hammered the joysticks hard. So yeah, stick drift, awful stick drift in the Elite controller. Now, we did at least cover a huge amount of controllers here.
Yeah.
So we should have, it shouldn't be that much of a surprise that potentiometers will drift.
Oh, yeah,
But it's a shock that within less than a year with their Pro controller that it's happened that quickly.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I was genuinely disgusted. Like,
yeah,
honestly,
I'm out of warranty as well. Like, and I think they would argue that that's just wear and tear anyway.
They would, yeah.
Because I know that was the issue with SCUF controllers when they were using potentiometers. It could last 3 months, and it's like, oh well, you've just spent hundreds and hundreds on this controller, and now it's broken. But whatever. So yeah, that controller was really annoying. I mean, I don't use that controller because it's the Xbox controller, right? I'll use other stuff for PC, which is way better spec, but because every time we play Call of Duty on the Xbox, my wife uses that controller. If she's like, do you want to go? If I can't be bothered to load it up on my PC, I'll just grab that controller and play, right? Mm-hmm. And then it finally died, and we got the new GameSir controller,
the G7 Pro one,
G7
Wu-Chang.
Pro wireless. Yeah, the one that actually is wireless with the Xbox with a dongle. And so we set that up for her and was like, right, you're going to use this, right? It's got TMR sticks, which are like 1,000 times more accurate than potentiometer sticks. They're still using a Hall effect style technology, so they're less likely to drift, but the resolution and everything is much, much greater. And she was because she's dialed in stick specifics in the game, right? For like movement speed and stuff. She's got her own like personalized settings. And also she likes the hair triggers on the Elite. But with that, it's not actually hair triggers. It's just a hard stop, right?
It's a mechanical stop, isn't it?
Yeah, it is on the GameSir, but not on the Xbox controller. On the Xbox controller, it's just like a thud, right? It just cuts it off soon. Whereas on the GameSir one, it's actually got micro switches, so it's like instantaneous, right? So I set her up with this controller and went, just play Call of Duty. And immediately I said, you're going to be overshooting like mad, because she had all the sensitivities up for the Xbox controller. So she starts playing, overshooting like mad. She was like, I said, just reset that tab, the controller tab, just reset it. And she was like, no, I'll never play again. She literally said that. I will never play this game again, because she thought her like controller settings were so dialed in. And I said, trust me, just reset it. So she reset the controller tab, just one tab of it where the sticks were, started playing, and then she starts grumbling because she was nailing every shot. And she said, what's it called? What's it called? Like auto aim. That's what it's called. She went, auto aim's clearly on now because I'm getting every shot. And I said, are you sure about that? And she was like, yeah. So when she died next, I opened up the menu, went, auto aim was off. So she was that good with the new controller on default stick settings because of these TMR sticks. She thought she had auto aim enabled because she got every kill. And I was like, no, that's just using a decent controller.
It's not the wireless version. This is the old version, but the G7 Pro.
Yeah, it's still the new one technically for them. But yeah,
I have to say this isn't an endorsement from GameSir by any stretch.
No.
If they do want to sponsor, then they're more than welcome. It's it's more. Yeah, the Elite controller died for me as well, and because we had reviewed the GameSir controllers, I dug out the G7 Pro with the wired version, and I can't go back now. In fact, it's the first controller. This shows you how backward I am. It's the first controller where I've actually embraced the back paddles.
Yes.
I use back paddles now, Andy. How does that make you feel?
I can't believe it. Yeah, I know.
You're
I've
proud.
been banging on for AJ for years. You need to learn the paddles because it changes everything.
It does.
Yeah. And do you know what's funny though?
What?
I was going to say, like, my wife hates back paddles, like absolutely detests them. She won't use a controller if they've got them. But the good thing about this controller is you can lock them out that it doesn't even feel like there's back paddles. It just like freezes them like locked in.
When I'm playing like a shooter like Call of Duty and Ark Raiders as well, and I've been playing that, I have the left stick to the left paddle like you would do.
Yeah,
and because
L3.
I've not rebound R3, I have that locked. And it's really nice because under your hand, it still feels like a solid controller when it's locked.
Yeah,
it's clever.
Yeah. I always
I've only rebound one because I seldom use the
right stick
R3 anyway.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
But if I need it, then I would.
Yeah, I always just default L3 and R3 to the back paddles. That's it. And that's what I've done with her controller, just in case she goes, do you want to play Call of Duty? Now I can just unlock them and they're already bound. So I'm like, nice. Yes, winning. But yeah, so I wanted to say, like, bring up the TMR situation mainly because obviously we can start talking about the Steam controller, like the Steam 2 controller.
Yeah, okay, so the announcement happened. It's a good segue. And Valve were just like, random Wednesday night in the middle of November, why not have a bunch of new hardware?
Yeah.
There was some leaked images that had been coming out the weeks before.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, much like Half-Life 3 rumours, I just kind of ignored them because I was like...
Yeah, they looked fake to me. Like, what I saw, I was like, yeah, that looks a bit, it doesn't look too believable, but I think
that looks
more
a bit
stuff
like
was coming out.
Gemini's done something here.
Yeah. And I honestly thought, well, I think what's happened is more leaks were coming out and they went, you know what, we've just got to drop this now because they're quite good at that. Yeah, so they just launched a video and it wouldn't surprise me if it wasn't actually meant to come out yet, like all that information.
It's interesting. But we'll start with the controller. Because it's a nice segue, and I'm not normally one to get that excited with controllers, and especially not first-party ones.
Yeah.
They tend to be lacking, like we've seen, especially with the Elite controller from Xbox, the PlayStation overpriced DualSense Pro nonsense. Yep. But this actually looks really good.
It looks very good. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to get too excited because it might be like 300 quid, but
that's the issue here, isn't it? Is what's the cost of it? I mean, the original Steam controller, which is old now, launched at about $50, I believe. But I mean, that was a long time ago, and that controller was the first time that they'd used the like touchpads instead of so it only had one joystick, that controller, and like two touchpad like domes so that you could use it as a mouse and stuff on PC, where controllers back in the days when PC games didn't to support controllers really, like people forget now that controllers are widely supported, but they never were on PC. It was always
within the maybe 5 years, maybe 10 years at a push, but definitely like the last 5 years the support's really kind of ramped up. But you're
ramped
right.
Up, yeah. It's been a big thing now. So they've actually now just basically taken a Steam Deck and they've done the opposite of a PlayStation Portal and an Xbox Ally X. They've removed the screen and then jammed it together.
Yeah. I like that.
But it looks good, and it looks like they've actually cared about ergonomics because there's two touchpads. So just think of a Steam Deck. It's literally that, just together with no screen in the middle. But they've angled the touchpads off center to follow the natural curvature of your thumb. So it doesn't look awkward to use. I like the fact there's two touchpads. So if you're into RTS games or whatever, it looks good. If you're going to be messing around on the desktop and you want to be using the controller to navigate, that looks very good. You've got a symmetrical joystick layout. So I know some people are going to be upset about this, and I don't know how I feel about it. The good thing is they haven't done a Steam Deck where they've put them up high. So the symmetrical joysticks are actually more like a PlayStation controller now, where they're lowered and in the middle. So it looks like you'll actually have good control over the sticks without having to
it's a real divider, isn't it? Because I personally love asymmetrical. For me, it feels natural. But I come from historically the PlayStation world where everything was symmetrical, and I know so like personal friends that are gamers that are all, it has to be symmetrical. I cannot understand how you've got this offset thing.
Yeah,
so such a divider.
It is a big divider, yeah.
But they were bound to go symmetrical, weren't they? Because of what Steam Deck is.
Yeah, because the Steam Deck, yeah. But I think it looks nice. The layout, it looks good. Yeah. You've also got 4 back paddles, which are great, but they're not like lockoutable. So, if you don't like back paddles, this is not for you. I prefer more back paddles, the better. 2 now is too little for me. It's acceptable. But I've on the Legion Go 2, there is like 1,000 buttons, and I've rebound every single one of them. So I've got so many shortcuts and stuff. Oh yeah. I've basically turned it into a keyboard, like just put like keys all over the thing. I've got like so many bindings, it's unreal. But with this Steam controller, there's 4 back paddles. But one thing I really, really like is the fact that they've gone hard on gyro. So there's really good gyro support by the look of it, but also there's capacitive thumbstick caps, just like the Steam Deck. So you rest your thumb on the stick and then it will enable gyro or whatever, which is rebindable, by the way. So it can actually be a different action, I believe. But on the back of it, there's actually like capacitive panels in the grips, so that you can like just loosely loosen your grip and then recenter the gyro or whatever. And those are also rebindable, so that you can actually have that as a different action or whatever. So this thing looks like you're going to have so many different capabilities here just on like the shape and stuff. It's a bit of a funny looking controller, but it's mainly because
it carries on with the theme of their last controller all those years ago, which was a funny looking controller.
True. Yeah, but the one thing that really excites me is that they've put TMR sticks in it.
Yes. I mean, for a first-party manufacturer, for an OEM to do that, thank you, first of all.
Finally,
because, it's stuff like this that it kind of enforces the other ones to actually follow suit.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that when I look at the console manufacturers, the fact that all 3 of them are still not putting Hall effect sensors in their joysticks is criminal.
Yeah.
At least not in their Pro controllers. And I mean, Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox. Like, in their Pro controllers not having.
I don't know how they can get away with that. It's like a crime against gamers. It really is, because you think that Xbox controller, you can buy replacement Hall effect or TMR sticks for the base stock controller really easily, but getting them for the Elite is like non-existent, right? And it's the same with PlayStation. They like, look, we made this like crazy expensive Pro controller that you can remove the joysticks from in case they break.
It's part of the design.
What? Like, we've designed it so it's going to break, so you have to spend more money buying the modules that click in and out. Just put TMR in there and it won't have an issue. Like, Valve themselves said, they've soldered these onto the board, so they're not replaceable unless you're really into it, right? But they said they're so confident that these will not need to be replaced that they've just soldered them straight to the board. Absolutely, they're TMR sticks. Like, TMR, if you don't know, like, and you're listening, TMR is pretty much the resolution jump equivalent of going from either like 720p or 1080p to 4K. Like, that's the jump from going like potentiometer / Hall effect up to TMR. Like, there's that much resolution increase of like where it can read the input and micro movements and stuff. And they're super low power, so like highly efficient. The lowest dead zones you can possibly have. The one thing I really hope they allow is for true raw mode in the software. So basically the outer dead zone, if you can configure that to have either a circular dead zone or a square dead zone, now they've won. If they only allow for an outer circular dead zone, then that's kind of frustrating. But even though the GameSir controller lets you do that on the Xbox, which is amazing.
I cannot foresee that they would lock it down. The whole thing that Valve have shown us in recent years is, and again with this announcement and everything in it, is that they want it to be an open book. They want the community to help them develop stuff. They want it to be almost like a gamer's first hardware and software ecosystem. Do you know what? I don't think we give them enough praise for that, for the development of SteamOS, for the embracing of the community in that. And
absolutely, I agree.
I fully expect the controller to be as open as possible in that sense, especially on the software side of it.
I'm going to buy one. 100% I'm getting that controller.
Yeah.
Even if it's like 100 quid, I want to get that controller for sure.
It comes with the puck, doesn't it? The puck.
Yes.
Which is both charging base and can act as a connector, can't it?
It can indeed, yeah. So it's magnetized, so you just slide it over it and it magnetizes onto the back. But it's also the receiver, which I love. So that's great. And I think it can support 8 controllers per puck, and with
really?
like up to
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. It's either 4 or 8 per puck, and you can have 4 pucks plugged in.
Wow.
At any one time for up to something silly like 32 controllers connected or something like mad like that. Like it is something crazy like that. Don't quote me specifically, but it's either 4 or 8 per puck. Yeah, which is
Did they give any specs on like polling rates when using
that? No, but it's using its own dedicated Wi-Fi band. So it's its own Wi-Fi 6 band just for the controller, which means it's going to be ridiculous. It will be a minimum of 1,000 hertz. I can say that. Like, we don't know for sure yet, and if we do, then let us know down in the comments. But I'm going to say 1,000 hertz polling rate off a dedicated Wi-Fi band on its own dongle. Easy.
Yeah, easy.
This is
easy.
Yeah, exactly. This has been going around for a long time. So a minimum of 1,000 hertz. Yeah, it looks very very good.
It does look really good. Yeah. It's kind of, to talk about this without talking about the big thing is kind of doing it a disservice, because the whole thing is kind of designed together. They did, before we get onto the Steam Machine, they did also talk about the Steam Frame, which is their VR glasses thing.
Looks cool. I'm not a big VR guy.
I'm the same. I struggle to get excited with it.
Yeah, I get excited with the jump in technology. So I'm excited for where it's heading, and I hope one day it gets better where you don't have this big clunky thing on your head, but I've got a Meta Quest 3. I mean, I've got 2 of them because my wife wanted one, and I can deal with sitting down and watching stuff on it, or having easy games where you don't have to move. Any game where there's movement, I'm just I can't deal with it. But this new Steam Frame looks very cool because it's also running SteamOS.
I was just going to say that. Was I right in thinking it's running SteamOS?
Yeah, you are, yeah. So it runs SteamOS. You can sideload Android or PC apps directly on the thing, so it can actually run games itself. It's got the Proton layers within it to run Windows games, so you can do Windows VR games. And of course, you can just stream from either your PC or your Steam machine straight to it, which is wicked. And it's got this thing where it can sense where your eyes are looking, and it lowers the bit rate of the stream where your eyes are not looking. So they're saying
like dynamic
that you only
compression.
Yes, basically. So dynamic streaming, with that compression. So wherever you're looking, you're only ever seeing 10% of the image. So what they're saying is 90% of the image can be potato mode, and you won't even notice, providing where your eye is looking is pinpoint sharp. So what they've done is they've got these eye trackers, and wherever you're looking is the highest quality bitrate stream, but then anywhere you're not looking is compressed or whatever, and that sounds wicked. They're also working on
that's so clever.
What's it called? Prescription lenses. That's not a thing yet, but they're working on it. And it just looks really cool. I do think it looks good. It's battery pack on the back of the head, stuff like that. It looks wicked. I do like the look of it.
Yeah, the development technology is great. I will say the whole thing, before we dig into the Steam Machine as well, the whole thing, the controller, the Steam Frame, and the Steam Machine, in my head, is a massive net win for Steam Deck owners, this whole thing.
Yeah, I agree, yeah.
I fully believe that this not only signals their intention to continue in this, because there was some question marks whether the Steam Deck would just be a one-off and that it was actually just a vehicle to develop SteamOS to put elsewhere.
Yeah.
But it signals their intention that this is here to stay. This whole hardware part of their business is their focus.
Yeah. Yes.
And that there's then likely to be a Steam Deck 2 that's actually going to happen.
Yeah.
But moreover, the Steam Machine in particular breathes huge life into the Steam Deck owners. Like if you get a Steam Machine, like longevity wise.
Yeah, for sure. Yes, I do agree with that. Yeah, because not only is SteamOS just going to continue to get developed and get better, but equally you'll be able to stream from your Steam machine onto your Steam Deck and then play stuff at higher fidelity or whatever, you know?
Yeah. Or at least into the near future where games become too intensive for the Steam Deck. We're already seeing it. Like there's games
we've been there for the past over a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people find workarounds and they're happy with lossless scaling and all the other tweaks and stuff you can do. But this gives you a hardware way of just keeping it alive until the Steam Deck 2 is here. If you're just dead set into your Steam Deck, you love the OLED screen or whatever it is.
Yeah. If you're streaming, if you've got the OLED and streaming, this will save you having to subscribe to GeForce Now. You know, you could have your Steam machine and just stream it locally. I mean, you could do that now anyway if you had a PC, right? Which you're probably doing if you've got a Steam Deck OLED is the best way, I would say, right now to be experiencing AAA games is some form of streaming, whether that's remote streaming or using a service like GeForce Now, which I'm really happy that they natively put on the deck. Because it wasn't there natively for a long time. But yeah, the Steam machine and the Steam Deck are now going to be pair hand in hand. And I 100%. Love that little family thing. Do you know what I mean? It feels so tight knit.
The presentation opened, and it's a blue checkered screen, and it's got the logos for each of the devices. It's just it's clear that this is a family of hardware and everything is going to be co-developed, and the idea is that they'll all sit hand in hand and play nice with each other. Yeah. There's an ecosystem now.
Yeah.
I want to dig into all of the specs and everything, what the Steam Machine means. But firstly, I want to say it's seismic. I fully believe this is a seismic moment for the fight for the living room.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I agree. And obviously we will touch on a bit later while it could be equally an issue there. But I do think for PC gamers, it is a seismic thing because I know myself because I've got 2 desktops in the living room, full-size systems. I've got massive PCs in the sitting room. So, and it is frustrating. They're loud, they're huge. And it just looks a bit unwieldy. People are like, why you got PCs in your living room?
Yeah.
Whereas this thing is the size of a Coke can, squared. It's
6 inch cube.
Yeah, the Gabe Cube, the Nintendo Gabe Cube, right? I'm surprised they're not going to get sued by Nintendo, if I'm honest. If I bought one, I would get a GameCube skin to put on it. 100% I would.
They're releasing the CAD files for people to 3D
for the front
print.
plate. Yeah, for the front plate and stuff.
Cool
yeah,
man.
It's wicked, yeah. But that size is perfect. 6 inch thing, that will fit on anyone's TV stand, or hidden away in a cupboard or whatever. It's not unwieldy. It's aesthetic. It's pleasing to look at. It's not going to be out of place with I nearly said your DVD player, but I suppose we're not in the 2000s anymore. It's not going to be out of place next to your Series X and your PS5. Yeah. And your stereo system. Yeah. Who has one of them anymore? Yeah.
With your parametric equalizer.
That's it. Yeah. But yeah, so I think that the size of the thing is where, like you said, the fight for the sitting room. This thing's smaller than a console. It's going to be a smaller footprint than a Nintendo Switch 2 in the dock.
Half the height of a Series X. I'm just looking at my Series X, which is just to my right.
Yeah.
And that looks like it's probably about 12 inches when stood up.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit longer.
if you got a hacksaw and just cut it in half, you would have 2 Steam machines
exactly
already.
That. And hardware-wise, you might actually be there as well, because that's the kind of the crux here. They're pitching this, before we talk about the actual specific hardware, as a 4K 60 machine. And in my news bit, when I was reacting to it, I was like, wait, hold up. And then there's a little asterisk underneath with the support of FSR. I'm like, not just the support, with FSR doing all of the lifting.
The absolute reliance on FSR. Yeah.
100%.
There is no way with the specs you are getting 4K 60 on AAA games, even with FSR, I would argue, unless you're using ultra performance mode and upscaling from 540p to 4K, and then it's going to look bad.
Yeah, it's going to look bad.
But, so this is kind of the 8K PS5 moment for me.
It's 100%
on the box. If they'd have said the 1440p 60 machine with FSR, now we're talking, because you're being realistic here, and you could totally upscale to 1440p, get 60 FPS whilst it looks good.
The problem is, they are, with this, it's us people that are used to the PC specs side of stuff, we can drill into it and go, I'm not sure that they're talking the truth there. But the marketing of this is at the console space. It's slightly more toned down. There's not so much talk about specific hardware. If they pitch this to the console space as a 1440p machine, Xbox Series X owners and PS5 owners who think their machine is a 4K 60 machine are going to go, no way.
That's true. Yeah, I hadn't considered that.
But the PS5 owners don't know that their machine isn't doing 4K 60. They assume that it is because that's what the box is telling them.
It's telling them that. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And their TV's a 4K TV, so it must be. Do you know? It's
they're just none of the wiser. They don't understand how it works.
And they don't need to because it's a console.
Yeah, and it could be 1080p, but because it says 4K, they're like, it's 4K.
Yeah,
so
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth will tell you that 1,000 times over.
Because that's 166p in it.
I played that at 720/60, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. And that was probably upscaled to 720p. Yeah.
It was horrific. So I think they have to say 4K 60 for the marketing.
Yeah.
And
they're not lying. Games will be able to do 4K 60. It's just going to be 2D platformers. Or older games. Any of the older stuff, I think, will be fine. But if you're talking about AAA games, no.
This is running off of RDNA 3 architecture.
Yeah.
So it's kind of. I was going to say current gen, but it's kind of not now, is it? RDNA 4 is here with discrete GPUs.
Yeah. I've got a 9070 XT.
Yeah, so it's kind of slightly last generation from a PC side of things, hardware.
Yeah.
So even the reliance on FSR, you're relying on pretty much software-based FSR. There's going to be some hardware lifting done, but you're relying on developers implementing FSR into their games.
The benefit is the majority of recent games are FSR dominant, at least with FSR 3. Not FSR 4, that's still too new, but FSR 3 is actually present in a lot of games, and especially if you're looking at stuff from big developers any of the Xbox studios, any of the PlayStation games, they're all they all use AMD hardware anyway. So FSR is present. And the thing we do, even though we're being kind of harsh about the 4K 60 claim and comparing it to a console, one thing that I was talking to some of our members last night about was the fact that on PlayStation, you either have quality or performance mode. And that's it.
Yeah.
You get a choice. You can't dial it in. Whereas this is a PC, so it's far more configurable. So game specific, you could, if you know what you're doing and you like to tinker a little bit, you could totally jump in to the settings and do a mixture of low and medium or whatever on a game, and then actually be able to hit that maybe 4K 60 with FSR, rather than going into a game, putting it on the highest graphics setting with FSR and then going, why is it only running at 20 FPS? The other thing as well we need to consider is this is going to be the only Steam machine for the foreseeable future. So there's going to be big content creators and websites doing new game specific settings that will be like, here's your optimized settings for X game, and people can just go and copy that. You know, like, so you will be able to squeeze more performance out of this than, say, like a PlayStation. And we do need to just say as well that the CPU side here is far greater than the PS5's CPU. So we should be able to get decent performance out of this.
Yeah, and am I right in remembering that PS5 on the GPU side of things is an RDNA 2 architecture, isn't it?
Yeah.
So although I've seen a lot of people looking at just the numbers on like what the clock speeds are and stuff, and how many computing threads and cores that it's using, I've seen a lot of people comparing the numbers with the consoles and going, oh, it's a lot lower. It's like, yeah, remember, this is newer hardware is the big one. So it will be way more efficient in how it deals with power than the Series X and the PS5.
Yes,
But I think because of those lower numbers, it'll probably average out as being similar performances to what we see from probably a PS5.
I think it's going to be better. I think it's going to be better performance than a PS5 and a Series X, purely because stronger CPU and the fact that we can dial in settings here. You know, like we do have FSR choice. So you'll be able to choose, do you want FSR quality, performance, balanced, ultra performance? Like, you're going to be able to squeeze far more performance out of this. And we need to remember this is running SteamOS, which is far more performant than Windows.
Super efficient. Yeah.
So you're getting a boost in frame rate just by the fact it's got Windows SteamOS on it, plus all this configurable, like the configurable nature of the thing and newer hardware. It will be better. I do believe that.
On the configuration side of things, also we're thinking about that. The obvious advantage for the console space, and we talked about it a lot with the Switch 2, is that developers can aim at a single piece of hardware, optimize for that and its flaws, and trim off bits that are necessary and like compress things down and get it perfectly running on this piece of hardware. Historically, the problem with the PC space is that you're not aiming at a single device. You're aiming at, like, it's just an infinite number, so you give it all of the options and let people configure it themselves.
Yes.
Do you think the Steam machine gives a broad enough scope that developers are going to optimize for it?
Yeah.
Do you think it's that big?
Well, look at Steam Deck. Look at these huge games where developers have taken the time to make ultra potato mode graphics settings for the Steam Deck. I'm not being harsh, but that's true. Like, if you go into a game and it literally has a Steam Deck setting, it's often lower than the lowest setting that the game supports in PC land, right? So they've specifically made it they've made harsh cutbacks just so that it works on the Steam Deck. So absolutely, those developers are going to be like, sweet, let's do a Steam machine preset to save it for people that maybe aren't so tech savvy that sit there and dial it in. They could just go, I've got a Steam machine preset, done.
I think that's where this really starts to win, is when if it sells on the numbers everyone feels like it's going to, like the kind of put finger on your pulse, this is going to be as big as the Steam Deck was for handheld gaming. If it sells on those numbers, then the optimization of games for it is going to be huge in how user experience is and how those games perform and how it stacks up against a Series X and a PS5.
Yeah.
The longevity of it is a question mark.
That's my biggest
of the hardware
issue here. Yeah, it's my biggest issue here because it's kind of doing a Steam Deck where it kind of already launched
Yeah.
Slightly outdated, you know?
As I was saying, it's the discrete GPU is based on RDNA 3 architecture, which is already out of date.
Yeah.
It's still supported and it's still very good, but you know, it's not current generation.
The Legion Go 2 and the Xbox Ally X and stuff are on RDNA 3.5. So they're already newer, you know, than that. Just for
8 gig of VRAM. I'm just thinking about like the
biggest issue.
lifespan of this.
This is the biggest issue right here. They should have made an 8 gig version and a 16 gig version. And yes, okay, there'll be a big price differentiation there. But 2 models would have been easy. You know, like here's your low price one, here's your high price one. You know,
I just want to say with that, they're already making 2 SKUs for this, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah.
And the differentiator
and
is storage. Come on. That's me with like the kind of like PC hat on. When I go for the console space, I understand why they've done that, because that's what that space is used to seeing as the difference.
Yeah, and people don't want to mess around. They just want to pay more and have it done for them. But I mean,
it's the same as the Steam Deck, isn't it?
Yeah, it's exactly the same. Where everyone was like, "Don't buy the cheap one." It's like, no, the opposite. Buy the cheap one.
Buy the cheap one.
Yeah, buy the cheapest one, because you can very easily swap that drive out yourself, and that's going to be the same here. The price difference is very easy, great. Yeah. You know, going from a 512 to a 2 terabyte, that price difference is going to be huge. And I would argue you either, as a PC gamer, either already got a spare drive laying around, or can find one from a respectable brand that's cheaper than that difference.
Yes,
the thing looks easy to upgrade. It looks super easy to upgrade.
The storage side of things, it's literally on the base of it, underneath the base of the chassis. So they've let it on the outside for people to do it themselves.
Yeah, you just slide it off and there you go. Like, easy.
So I agree with you originally. I think the other SK, the 2 terabyte model, as it were, should have had a larger amount of VRAM available in it, and then it'd be way more future-proof and would justify a multiplier on the price. Yeah,
I agree with you there, because 8 gig of VRAM now, especially, it all comes down to the claim for me of 4K 60. Like, 8 gigabyte graphics cards right now can't even max out 1080p textures. So how is an 8 gig card gonna like cope with 4K gaming for the next 5 years? It's not. Like, Nvidia have been ridiculed for their 8 gig cards, so much so there's been articles recently where they're like slashing prices because no one's buying them because it's got an 8 gig VRAM like module in it. So I mean, even my wife's got a 5070. And I would even argue that the 12 gig that's got is too little. It should have a 16 gig. My 9070 XT has got 16 gig, and that's perfect for 1440p and 4K gaming with high textures. But that's where I was like saying earlier when I was saying you'll probably get 4K 60 with low to medium textures.
Yeah.
Because that 8 gig of VRAM just is not going to go higher than like low to medium textures unless you're playing at 1080p. If you've got a 1080p screen, then you'll be able to go to like medium high textures. But even then, that 8 gig VRAM is going to choke out. So for future-proof...
future-proof is the big one. Next 5 years, there's no way in 5 years you're going to be having a good experience with that.
No.
Which is a genuine concern. And I guess... I guess that really is where they start leaning on developers to still be supporting FSR3.
Yeah.
And in 5 years' time, I'm talking.
That's true.
And really leaning on them to be still optimizing for 8 gig cards in quite low clock speed CPUs as well.
Yeah. Again, if they go down the route... Oh, God.
We'll already be in PS6, the next Xbox gen.
So
you'll possibly be using like handheld gaming settings on this.
Presets, yeah.
Like this, like what they're now using for like the Xbox handheld verified to developers making like a handheld modes.
Yes, if they do a dedicated, like we touched on earlier, mode where the developers make a Steam machine mode,
Yeah.
Where it's, like designed for that, then we're fine, because it will just be low textures,
Yeah.
and then you can't really complain, and stuff will be playing fine for a while yet. If developers don't bother with that, then people are just, because this is the thing with PC gamers, everyone buys like a budget card and then cries when it can't do maxed out settings. It's like, if you want to max stuff out, you got to spend like 50, 90 prices. Do you know what I mean? If you're wanting to like 4K max it. So you do need to optimize your games on PC, and you need to have an expectation of how and where you can optimize. So with an 8 gig VRAM, you're going to be looking at like just putting everything onto low, like for the next 5 years.
So the whole thing with like on the hardware thing, on like how exciting or not this is, I'm excited by the concept entirely. I think Valve making a play for the living room is epic for everyone.
Yeah.
Getting more people into PC gaming, or at least into the SteamOS infrastructure and stuff, I think is amazing, because it, in my mind, fully cements that idea that we had on the podcast previously, where PC gaming won the console war. Like,
oh, absolutely,
this show, and all the console manufacturers bar Nintendo are piling into the PC space anyway. So it's all net win for gamers. It's really cool. This release in of itself is entirely hinged on one thing: price. What is the price going to be? Because that tells me whether it's going to be worth the investment or not, or is it worth spending for the longevity, or is it just a short term, like, oh, it's just a flutter, don't worry about it, it's only a cheap thing to buy for a couple of years.
Yeah, I get you.
We did a poll,
yes,
in the Discord and on the channel itself as a members post thing. On the channel, 1,300 people responded to it. I put the poll out yesterday when we recorded, at the time of recording. How much will the Steam Machine be? Pounds and dollars. It's kind of the number. And the options were 500 to 600, 600 to 750, 750 to 900, or 900 plus. Results are very interesting. The winner by 34% was 500 to 600. Second place, right behind it at 33%, so just 1% behind, was 600 to 750. And then there's a big jump down. Then it's 22% for 750 to 900, and 11% of people thought it'd be more than 900. Valve have said themselves. They said it in Linus Tech Tips video. He asked them about pricing, and they say that this is going to be priced for the PC side of things rather than the console side of things. So priced for the PC hardware, not as a console competition.
They basically said they're not competing with the consoles. This is a PC, because it is a PC, so it'll be priced accordingly.
I've seen a lot of people on like Twitter and Reddit and stuff, and in YouTube comments saying, oh, this will be really cheap because they'll do a loss lead because they just want people to buy games on Steam. Not the case. Because what happens, because this is just a PC and they're marketing it as just a PC, you don't have to use SteamOS on it. Put whatever operating system you want on. What happens if a massive company decides they want to buy 1,000 PCs for their workforce, and actually this looks like the perfect thing because they don't need lots of graphic intensive stuff. They just want 1,000 cool looking PCs. They're never going to buy a Steam game. If they're loss leading on it all, they'll lose a huge amount on that.
That's true. However, it depends on how they sell the system, right? Because Valve currently, the only way you could buy a Steam Deck is through the Steam store.
True.
Right? Through them. So you're not going to get like an enterprise like going into their gaming account and ordering 1,000 machines. They're not going to allow it.
You misunderstand how businesses work, though, don't you? Like if HSBC Banking phoned up Valve and said we want 10,000 computers,
then they'll strike a deal
order.
Off. Yeah, that's fine, but that's not going to be like affecting. I don't see that being.
Of course it will. If the RRP is £400 on this and someone wants to buy 10,000 of them, they're not going to say £600 per unit.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, I get what you're saying. But what I mean is I don't think that they would allow that. Do you know what I mean? I don't think Valve would just go, yeah, okay, let's sell them to you at cost at like whatever low price. And equally, because people were like, well, there's nothing stopping them buying them. Well, there is, because you can't buy a Steam Deck even right now with a fresh account, because this is how they stop scalpers. So if you just make an account right now and try and buy it, you'll get your account banned. Like that's it. So that's going to be the exact same thing here to protect against scalpers, and also from people that just want to like buy loads of them. It will be like one per account or whatever it might be. But I don't think that they would allow like a big company to come in and then wipe the floor of their stock at like a low cost, just because they're not trying to be HP or Dell. Do you know what I mean? Like they're not trying to be a PC manufacturer. Like, this is a gaming company that are hoping that gamers are going to buy this product to potentially buy products through Steam. Like, even though, they've said you can install whatever operating system you want. Like, I just don't feel like they're trying to compete with true PC manufacturers that will be promoting to enterprises and stuff.
And this is where the mixed messages come in then. So if that was the case, if it was just about them getting people in to buy games, then they will pitch this really low, and they wouldn't be saying this is going to be priced as a PC. Yeah,
it's a double-edged sword, isn't it? Because the thing is, they've already said, it's mixed messaging, because they've already said, like, we're not trying to compete with console, but equally this is a mini PC. You look at mini PCs right now that are running Windows, they're thousands. Like with comparable hardware, well over 1,000 for something which is the equivalent of this. And that the thing is the Steam Deck has ruined people's perception of hardware. Like, they've spent years developing this, having it custom made, like all the machining and everything else that they're going to like have to do to build this thing, and then to make that money back. They're not Microsoft. As much as they've got like a shed load of money, they're not as big as Microsoft. They can't loss lead it with the hopes that people are going to play for Game Pass, because they don't have Game Pass. Like Steam, they're just taking a small cut off of developers. Like, they're not even a games manufacturer anymore. Valve used to make games. They don't. They've made one game in 20 years?
Unless you listen to the internet rumors, and then they're busy making Half-Life 3.
That's it. But so I think people are going to be extremely shocked by how much this is going to cost. This is not going to be £500 to £600 or dollars. No, not at all. I anticipate the 512 to be around 750, like minimum 750 for the 512 gigabyte, probably up to like 900 for the 2 terabyte, maybe 1,000. Like, because this has got a discrete GPU in it.
Yeah, there's a lot of factors that really affect the pricing, which is also why I don't think they've actually said what it costs yet. RAM is spiking in price massively at the moment. Graphics cards, obviously, post Bitcoin madness, they've never come back down since then. They are like crazy pricing. Storage
SSD prices,
they've gone through the roof as well. Like, the costs of components now are huge and really volatile. And then, of course, you've got the impact of like the American market and tariffs and stuff, and where is this made and imported to, and cause obviously they're an American company, and like so there's huge things that are affecting this cost wise. I saw a lot of people hopefully saying, oh, it's going to be like 400 to 500. Like, there's no chance. There's zero chance. I don't even think the next gen consoles are going to be 400 to 500.
No, they're going to be starting at PS5 Pro prices.
Yeah, I think everyone's in for a shock next generation. We said it when the Switch 2 launched, and by that point, everyone's going to go, oh, actually, Switch 2 is really cheap. Obviously, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, for the most part, loss lead, or at least go to as small margins as possible on their console hardware, because they want accessory sales and game sales.
And they make games.
And they make games. Clearly, it's not entirely the case here. If I was going to put a bet on, I would say it's going to start from 700. And I think, the 2 terabyte, it could be anyone's guess, probably around the 900 mark.
Yeah.
And I think
so
that will
pretty
be
much
them,
in line with what I think.
Yeah, I think that'll be them making it razor thin on the margins as well. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
they'll be cutting it quite fine them.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Which means there's going to be a lot of very upset people. I've looked at the poll, both on our channel members Discord and on the community post on YouTube, and then put my finger on the pulse of what the comments on Twitter and YouTube are and stuff in general. I think there's a lot of people that are going to be very upset with the price of this.
Absolutely. I totally agree. That's the thing. I think the number one thing I think people are getting wrong right now is the price. Because they're seeing Steam Deck and seeing now Steam Deck's like really affordable and stuff. It's like, it's old, man. Like, it's old, and they launched it as it was the new thing, and it was affordable, but it was still kind of expensive when you think about it. When
I was just going to say that I think people have misremembered this, because I look at the Steam Deck pricing. If you look at it right now, for the hardware you're getting, it's actually kind of overpriced for the hardware.
Yeah, it is overpriced, 100%. Yeah.
And then when it launched at a really, I can't even remember what the LCD one launched at. It was really high price.
Yeah.
And then they dropped it really quickly because there was like a pushback against it. But even then, what did it settle down to? Like $350 for the 64 gig storage
something
one?
like that. Yeah.
Which for the hardware you're getting they were cutting it razor thin, surely, but it was still like, I don't know if it's actually worth it at that price point. But because psychologically those numbers are quite low compared to what we used to in the comparisons with like the Ally X's and stuff, it looks like they're doing cheap work, that all their hardware is always going to be cheap.
Yeah. Yes.
Just don't
I don't think so here. No, I don't think so here. I think it's going to be expensive.
And that is the big kind of hinge on this whole thing. Is it worth it, and the longevity part of it. The other parts are the criticisms we've consistently had about SteamOS for the average player.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful operating system. If you want to get into PC gaming, it's literally the best way to do it, because it's like it's like bowling with the lanes up, on the sides.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, no, it's so true. Yeah.
It's like, okay, I can't go wrong. Wicked. Okay, it's all there. It looks beautiful. It's very easy to navigate. La da da. The huge problems is obviously the average gamer plays a lot of multiplayer games.
Yep.
How popular games like Fortnite, Call of Duty, GTA Online, like these are like the big games that people play the most.
Mm-hmm.
You're just not so you're not going to be able to play them on your Steam machine either?
Exactly that. Like, literally just had one of my friends trying to buy a PC, and he messaged me, like, I was like, look, send me specs and stuff and prices or whatever, I'll help you.
Yeah.
And then he messaged me like, yeah, but Steam just announced a Steam machine. Shouldn't I get one of them? I'm like, whoa, dude, like, you're looking at like 5070 Ti's, like, and now different. You're like looking at, I was like, you're in a different ballpark. You're looking at the Steam Machine 3 here. Yeah, right. Yeah. Not this. Like, that's the kind of level difference here between these two machines. And then I said, and equally, he's a Battlefield and Call of Duty player. I said, there's no Call of Duty, there's no Battlefield, there's no Fortnite. And his response was, what? Like, surely this is going to flop. It's misrepresenting like PC gaming. I'm like, no, it's just because he's not like a big PC gamer. Do you know what I mean? He's like a console gamer that's like wants to get into PC gaming. A lot of people still don't realize that SteamOS is so restrictive. Like, it's like a single player like operating system.
It's got a lot better as time's gone on. Like with the
it's great. I love it.
That compatibility thing has got better. But
for anti-cheat support, it's no different than it always was. Yeah. So that's the thing is, as a console replacement, like, can it replace a console when you can't play any multiplayer games? Right now, I don't think so, because I think they're like the rhythm of a lot of console players. I'm not saying that that's exclusively what people play, but I know if I just want like a no-brainer kind of, I just want to not think about it and just play something for an hour, it's probably going to be a multiplayer game that I go to.
Whereas if I want to like play something, then I'll probably go to like a story-based game that you could play on the Steam machine.
Yeah.
But when you look at the player numbers of games, like concurrent players and stuff, and like sales figures, it's almost all multiplayer. So that's a huge problem. And honestly, it doesn't look like there's any way around it, because it's not like it's a new problem.
Yeah, exactly. It's
how many Steam Decks
do.
did they sell? Was it 3
last
million?
time we looked, it was 3 million, but that was a long time ago now. I think it's probably more towards the 5 million now, maybe.
It's a
I'm not too
lot.
sure.
It's a lot to be ignoring.
Oh, it's a lot. It is a lot. And I think this is going to do really well if you're already a PC gamer and you already know what you're getting yourself in for. Like, I navigate or gravitate more towards single player game experiences myself. So this is better for like someone like me. Like, I would more than happily have a Steam machine under my TV and go, my issue is I got 2 massively beefy systems already in the living room that are far more capable than this, so there's no way I'm going to buy one. Like, there's just no reason. But the thing is when I boot up the system that's plugged into the TV, I straight away enable Steam Big Picture mode. You know, I have that come up. That's the first thing that comes up.
It's kind of like you've got SteamOS already.
Yeah, you kind of. But so I think a lot of people are going to love this. I think it's more for the like less informed, the people that aren't like really into PC gaming, that still just think, oh, just get a PC and use Game Pass. Like, you ain't going to do that on the Steam machine.
Such a beautiful segue as well, because that was the other note I've got there is how are Xbox going to respond to this? Well, straight away, within minutes, we saw Phil Spencer not just retweeting Valve's announcement of this, but also putting his own comment on there.
That's why your news video took a little bit longer, didn't it?
I had to draft the tweet and get it okayed by the press department. And to paraphrase him, he was basically saying it's great to see new hardware enter the space. The more places where people can play Xbox games, the better. So, do you think, I've asked you this in the past and we've poo-pooed it, but do you think Game Pass is coming natively to Steam?
I'm going to say no.
It makes no sense, but also it makes all the sense.
It would be, I think, because Microsoft now are just a software company, you know, like they don't care what you're playing on. Could be a fridge, could be a Tesla, you know, like it doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's got an Xbox game playing on it, they don't care.
Then it's an Xbox.
I think so I think it's absolutely the right move for them to release Game Pass on Steam. The issue is I can totally foresee it being the Game Pass on Steam streaming only app, right? So because again, the anti-cheat support stuff, they would have to get every single developer to enable anti-cheat on Linux, and that's a whole nother ball game. Whereas they've already got this crazy good streaming service right now. You know, they've just upgraded it and now does 1440p, like 60 and all that stuff, like free with your account. No like GeForce Now subscription.
When you talk about like the future of the Steam machine and like the kind of slightly underspec'd hardware,
streaming,
then it makes sense. And streaming has got a lot better. It has got, like you say, they've enabled that 1440p. It's definitely got better. The latency's a lot. I don't know how much better they could make like the round trip like latency and stuff. Like it is what it is.
I just see that being the easiest way that they can just go Xbox on SteamOS, you know, like and then there you have it, like very, very easy without them doing too much effort. The other thing is when Phil Spencer says, like, the more people that can play Xbox games, the better. Well, all their games come out on Steam. So, like, you know, you can play Doom the Dark Ages there. You can play Indiana Jones, like, whatever it is. So they're already there. It's just for those multiplayer instances, like Call of Duty, unless you're streaming it, you ain't playing it. Like, so it's a tough one. I'm hopeful. I'd love for them to put all the like native Game Pass on Steam so that you can download and natively play the games. But as like the amount of effort it will take to do that, I just can't imagine. I can just imagine them going, here's the streaming app.
And the bit that makes loads of sense is like, it's really cool for gamers.
Yeah.
The bit that makes no sense is from the Steam perspective. Like, well, what do they get out of it? 30% of your Game Pass subscription? What happens if my Game Pass subscription is an Ultimate one? I took it out on my console. So no transactions happen through Steam. It wouldn't make any sense to them.
That's very true. I hadn't even considered
the only way it does make sense is streaming, because then there's like a walled garden around it of like, you're not actually owning these games. Steam aren't losing anything. If you really like it, you're probably going to buy it. But if you just want to play it and you've got a Game Pass subscription, then here's a way of doing it. I think you've actually hit the nail on the head with, if they were to do it, how they would do it. And the hilarious thing with that is like a lot of things that Xbox do, it's probably net good, but it's also full of memes. You know they'll get ribbed for it, but it's actually quite good.
Yeah.
Because it's streaming.
Yeah. And to be fair, like, is it... I don't want to defend streaming because I don't do it. But is it that bad on a Steam machine that you're likely going to have Ethernetted to your router? Do you know what I mean? Like, this thing's going to live in a home theater environment. Just plug it in, and now you can actually stream well. It's not, we're not like looking at PS Portal here where you're sat in a cafe running on an outdated Wi-Fi chip with like, you know, terrible data connection. This thing's going to be in your control with your internet, you know? So I think streaming will probably actually be quite good on it compared to streaming on a Portal or the Steam Deck or whatever.
Yeah, I think it will for certain. And like how much better the infrastructure's got. Like say the 1440p streaming now, it genuinely looks like it could be viable. Yeah. And the longevity that it gives devices is massive. Devices like the Steam Deck that are underpowered now, the Steam machine that's going to be, let's be honest, underpowered at launch. I don't want to, I sound like I'm just being really negative about this thing the whole time. I am genuinely excited for it.
I feel the same. I feel like I'm coming across like I'm like trying to put it down, but I think this is brilliant for PC gamers. Like I think this is like the Steam Deck. If you've got a desktop in your gaming room or in your office or whatever, and you're like, you know what, I just want to chill on the sofa, which by the way is incredible because I've been doing it for years with a desktop in my, you know, luckily my wife is fully endorses it. She's a gamer as well. So I'm lucky that way, but people will be able to have my level of fun with PC gaming in the living room with this tiny little box that's not going to upset your wife or your partner. You know, like it's not going to be like real big and loud. Like I think this is a net win. I really like what they're doing here. And if I didn't have PCs in the living room, I'd totally buy one. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing. If you don't have a PC in your living room, which most people don't, I know there's quite a few who do, but most people don't, this is a fantastic way of doing this. And more than anything else, yes, it's a PC, yes, it's going to be priced like one, and the components are of one, but let's just take a pause for a minute and realise that a new console has entered the space.
The Xbox Next Gen has just come out before Xbox.
We were all talking about it. This is what Xbox were going to do. Steam have just beaten them to it.
Yeah, they have. I totally believe that. This is effectively like it's like Xbox Full. The new console war is SteamOS versus Xbox full screen experience. It's that kind of like PlayStation and Xbox. They're all PlayStations and Xboxes at this point. Yeah, everything's an Xbox, everything's a PlayStation. But I feel like PC now has got like a. What's it called when a civil war going on? Do you know what I mean? Like we've got like a civil PC war going on.
That's a really interesting thing that I just hadn't considered, which is really obvious, is how quickly do Windows turn around and try and optimize full screen experience for this machine?
Yeah.
If they can because then you remove all the problems. yes, you're installing Windows, so you're removing some of the advantages that you get from that kind of low lift that the Linux-based SteamOS gives you, but all the advantages of having a Windows operating system, which includes the multiplayer games, is there. And to be fair to them, full screen experience is pretty light compared to what Windows used to be.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're saving RAM there. You know, like all the background processes are just shut off. I've installed it on every handheld. Like I use Windows full screen or Xbox full screen experience on everything because it's just like it's actually much easier to use than just straight up Windows. And
especially
on a TV, yes, that's what I mean. Like in a TV environment, it'll be perfect. Like literally perfect, and you'll still be able to play Battlefield and Call of Duty and Fortnite and. Yeah.
No, at the moment, the Insider program that lets you install it, it's kind of locked to APU devices, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, just to be clear, you don't need to be in the Insider program anymore. It's just it's out there. No. You just natively install 25H2, and then you just.
Someone in the Windows team did not get the memo about the exclusive partnership that they've got with Asus. There's no exclusive partnership with Asus there. I mean, there is in terms of it being like fully supported with the Asus devices, but I mean, it's in testing right now for MSI. But the thing is I've installed it on the MSI, the Legion, and all that stuff, and it all works fine. Like you don't need to be an insider anymore. You just need to be running Windows 25H2. And then you can go on GitHub, and there's a one-click installer for enabling Windows Xbox full screen experience now. So you don't even need to do any coding like our guide shows you. Like it's literally you click a button and it works, and that's it. Love it. Yeah. Well, So, but at the moment that will only work with devices like APU-based devices, wouldn't it?
Oh, you can't just do it on desktop.
You can do it on desktop.
Yeah, there's an override like for it.
Have you seen it working on desktop?
It's a UI scale. I was planning on doing it myself, but I fought against it because it's, I don't know, like, you know, I might try it, might not. But basically what the issue is, because it's designed for handhelds with small, low-resolution screens, when you put it on a big screen, all the UI and everything's all messed up. But now there's like a scaling like hack that then makes it just work, right? Yeah. And that's part of this one-click enabler that like on GitHub. So you can just basically say, I'm going to put this on a desktop, and it will just make it work and scale everything correctly.
Yeah.
So you would be able to put it on this.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I assumed it was still locked down to. I thought they'd restricted it with like looking at like hardware reading it and going, it has to be an APU for it to work. But there's a workaround. So you have this like play for the living room there as well, and well, I'll put the question to you as we come near the end. You have this machine in your living room. Let's say you don't have your other PCs. Are you running SteamOS or Xbox full screen experience on it?
It's a tough one because for me, I would actually stick with SteamOS. Like, believe it or not, like I would, because I like it. This question gets deep, doesn't it? Because is this my only device? Like,
yes,
the kind of thing.
Yeah, because I know
like,
where your head's going now.
Because I would just play Call of Duty on the Xbox or my handheld.
Yeah.
But the thing is now, more and more people have got multiple systems than ever.
They do.
So people have a handheld, they've got an Xbox, they've got a PC. So it's a tough one. For me, like my PCs, when I boot up the PC in the living room, I'm mainly playing single player games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like on TV, like I'm playing Village on the TV that's on the TV PC, right? So that, for me, I could totally just have SteamOS. The issue comes down with Game Pass games.
Yeah.
Because there is some games that I'm like, yeah, I want to play that, and that is from Game Pass. So, and that's natively there. The thing is I buy all of my PC games on Steam if I have a choice, you know, like unless it's exclusive to Epic or something. But yeah, I would be happy running SteamOS on a Steam machine in my living room. I would be, if I could then play Call of Duty or something on like a handheld that's running Windows or something like that, because my wife, even though she's got a PC plugged into the TV, still goes to the Xbox for Call of Duty, even though it's worse than running it on the PC.
Yeah, but it just feels easy, doesn't it, somehow?
It's just because it starts up easy. You press the Xbox button on the controller, boom, boom, you're in the game, done.
I know
there's
why
no
our
messing
head goes
around.
there. Yeah. I think
so that's the reason.
If this was your only like TV device, the only device connected to TV, you don't have a console, or you got rid of your consoles for it because it is going to be £800, let's say. I think there's probably more incentive to install Windows and Xbox full screen experience than there is SteamOS because of the versatility.
Yeah. Well, in that case, you just wait for the next gen Xbox.
I do play Game Pass games. I do play multiplayer games as well as enjoying single player games. I want both, and I don't want to dual boot this.
Yeah, that's my issue right now with the handhelds. It really is. Like my Legion Go 2, love the thing, and I'm running Xbox full screen experience. Great. But equally, I'm like, SteamOS is so easy. It's so good. You get performance boosts there just without doing anything. But just the lack of Game Pass support, the lack of anti-cheat games on there just stops me side-loading like SteamOS because I don't want dual boot. I want one or the other. And for me, it's still Windows. I can't get away from Windows as much as I love SteamOS. I'm still rooted in Windows because I can do everything. I can do anything I want. Whereas SteamOS, I'm limited.
Yeah, I love the simplicity of SteamOS. I love how, as a console gamer at heart, I love how it makes me feel at home, like familiar almost.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, I would be installing Xbox full screen experience in this, even though I know that that's not ready yet and it's not great, and it is Windows, and I kind of hate Windows, but I want Game Pass and I want multiplayer as well.
Yeah.
So I probably would. I'd be stripping it off and doing that.
Yeah,
unless
it's not your one and done, is it?
The whole thing's a bit awkward. The position's awkward, and maybe it's just I'm biased because it's my personal. I'm getting my personal experiences in the way of this.
Yeah.
But yeah, the hardware, the pricing, SteamOS or not, it's all a bit difficult. But it's all very exciting at the same time.
Super exciting. I'm like super excited to see if this actually pushes devs into enabling anti-cheat support on multiplayer games or not, because it's there. It's not they can't do it. It's just down to the devs to bother configuring it. I just don't know how it's going to work, but I'm super excited by it. I think a lot of people are going to get it, and I think a lot of people are going to have a great time. But I do also think a lot of people are going to buy it thinking it's a PC. Like my friend was saying, "What? I can't play Call of Duty on it," and like being baffled because they just don't understand that SteamOS is not Windows. They think it's just Windows running Steam Big Picture mode, and it's not. So I think there's going to be a bit of an issue there with some people that don't quite understand that yet. But I think the majority of people are going to really enjoy it. It just comes down to that price. If we're totally wrong and they can bring that price down, this is absolutely one. Like if this launched at 500, killed the game, absolutely killed it. Yeah. It's not going to launch at 500. I'm sorry, everyone. It's going to be like up to 1,000. Like I'm thinking 750 to 1,000. Like for the two SKUs, that's where my prediction is minimum. That's like best case scenario.
What would be genuinely interesting is to put together a mini PC, but like a pre-built with the same specs, and see what manufacturers are charging. It's very easy to do. Oh, yeah,
it's over 1,000.
Yeah, I will imagine, especially considering how compact they've made the chassis, how effective the cooling is and stuff. It's all really well engineered. Separate antennas, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and the Wi-Fi for the controller as well. All separate antennas. Yeah, it's exciting. It's a big play for the living room, and it's a new console entering the space, and I love to see that. I think everyone's going to be in for a shock.
Yep, I do too.
I want to know what you guys think, though, about this. How much do you think it's going to cost you to take part in the poll? Write down your predictions in the comments down below. And are you going to get it? Are you hyped like we are? Or could you not care less? Let us know down in the comments down below. And whilst you're down there, make sure you like this video. Subscribe for more handheld gaming content.
Oh, yeah.
What else should they do, Andy?
Become a member, and you get to chat to us over on our private Discord, as well as participate in these polls that we do. I can't speak. This has been a long episode. Yeah. It has been, it's been a long podcast. My tongue has stopped working, but you can do things.
Yes, there's things over there. So until the next time.
There you go. Have a nice day. Bye.